Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been wanting to do an update video on skin after I've kind of gone through a whole little ordeal with my skin, and now that I feel like I have it back under control, I can now talk about what I did and how it happened. Now, I am a woman of a particular age, so I am not a teenager, and having acne and skin problems is just that much more annoying when you're older, because you're like, look, skin, this is it. I only have a couple more years on this earth. You can't be just going all willy-nilly on me, going crazy. So, because scars, they last longer, and I just didn't want any permanent damage to my skin. So I definitely sought out professional help, because I wasn't going to try to just manage this with over-the-counter stuff and all of that. So a couple of things. One thing, and I talked about this in another video, maybe over a year ago, I believe, because I want to say it was kind of like an update New Year video. I was taking, at the time, I think I was just taking biotin by itself. Some people say that there is no connection between biotin and skin issues. Say what you want, but as soon as I started taking biotin, I started getting cystic acne. So there's a lot of anecdotal connection between the two, but no medical studies that say this is true. But I definitely experienced it. So I started to manage it using kind of not necessarily just drugstore brand stuff, but like Mario Badescu, which is still a good product that I still would recommend. They have a buffering lotion that I would recommend if you are affected by cystic acne. They have a lot of good products that are made specifically for acne and acne-prone skin. But I think it really just depends on what works for you. So I'm going to just tell you what worked for me, and you can test it out if you have this issue. So I stopped taking just straight biotin for a while, but then I started taking the Hair Affinity pills, which include biotin, and they tell you to take 2 a day. I know a lot of people who also had issues with breakouts using biotin to the point that they couldn't take it anymore, didn't want to take it anymore because of the effect that the biotin in it was having on their skin. So some people just decided, I'm not going to do it anymore. I know some people who decided to go back to go just down to 1 pill a day and still saw good benefits from the pills. So the Hair Affinity video is coming. It's a whole nother one, and I'll do that one later. But that was a part of it. On top of starting Hair Affinity, I got an IUD. If you're a male and you're watching this, excuse this portion of the video, but we should all be grown folks, right? So I got an IUD, which I got the Mirena. If you don't know what an IUD is, it's basically birth control. It's like this plastic contraption that attaches to your uterus. That is a whole nother discussion, Lord. So the IUD, because of my experience with the IUD, was not as flawless as some other people's, but it's a very painful procedure. And if you want to know more, if you feel like you're thinking about getting an IUD and you want to know about my experience with an IUD, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a whole video about that. Back to the skin issues. So started to have those breakouts. And then next thing you know, I just got like this flurry of cystic acne on my face somewhere around March. Yeah, I believe it's about March. And we're now in August. So I remember just getting this one particular acne, cystic acne. And since I had it, I was like, perfect. Let me go to the dermatologist now while it's still, an active acne or whatever, because it would be back to back. Like one would finally go away and literally one would pop up right next to it, and a lot of times it was here. Like I got a lot here, sometimes my forehead, but it was really starting to just congregate here and on my chin sometimes. They're just really painful. So go to the dermatologist again. And some new things had come out since then. So initially, we chose to do an antibiotic for the short term. Did an antibiotic for the short term just to kind of get rid of what was actually happening right then and there. And then she prescribed 2 topical creams, one for day, one for night. So the prescription, so the antibiotics I took for a little while, but I stopped taking them after I felt like it had leveled out. And so I'll start with the daytime one, which you probably have seen the commercial for this. This is called Aczone. And Aczone is, if you're used to using like benzoyl peroxide, it's like a creamy white texture. It's just, I mean, and it dries clear. You can, after you wash your face, you can put this on in the daytime, and it works really well in the daytime. And then for the nighttime, I have Ziana, or Ziana. And this one kind of reminds me of like salicylic acid, but it's not salicylic acid, but it's the same consistency. It's like a clear gel. So I've actually been using both of these since March. So a little bit goes a long way. When I first started using this though, actually both of them, I mean, a lot of people know, if you've dealt with acne at any point, sometimes you kind of have to go through the rough of it just to get out on the other side, because you need the skin to kind of like die off and you form new skin. That's how skin works. So, yeah, this one's a little bit more intense than this one. So using a little goes a long way. And these are prescriptions, so I can't necessarily say that your doctor is going to prescribe these, but I will say that I got benefits out of them and I still use them. Now, I don't use them as often as I used to, but they are meant to be preventative. So if I'm using them a lot, or if I'm using them consistency, it should keep the acne away, which for the most part has proven true. The Aczone one is specifically, if you've probably seen the commercials for this, adult acne. Now, the side effect of that was extremely dry skin, very, very, very dry skin, and dry patches from the places where the acne was and the skin going away. So to combat that, I have 2 things that I use for my skin. This one is the Embroylisse, or Embroylisse. Yeah, Embroylisse. It's a very thick and rich moisturizer. It's, I guess this is French. I don't speak French, but most of this is in French. But in the back, it does tell you what's in the ingredients. It's an emollient oil combination of natural active ingredients with shea butter, beeswax, aloe vera, and soy proteins. And because I have oily skin, I don't put this on during the day. Makeup artists love this stuff because it really helps moisturize the skin. So some, makeup artists will use this before they put makeup on. I don't use this in the mornings because I do have oily skin. It's pretty thick. But at night, I will put this on, especially if I have a dry patch. Now, this alone was not working. So interestingly, I was having a conversation with my best friend, and they had gone out, I don't know, fishing or something in Louisiana, and they went somewhere in the country, like out in the woods, and she got sunburned. So she was like basically peeling, and it just kind of like a light bulb went off, because I was like, oh, my skin is peeling, and she was using the aloe vera gel. Well, a long time ago, I don't know what I did, but somehow I got like a chemical burn, I think, something like that. So I had some aloe vera, just your regular old Target. I think this thing maybe like $2, like really inexpensive. So I said, oh, let me try that, because, I'm having these patches. And I mean, it would literally just be patches, and I could just scratch and the skin would just come off. And it's really not attractive, and it's just kind of gross. But I mean, it was kind of what you needed to go through to get the dead skin off. So I started using the aloe vera gel, and it was like a miracle. Like, no $300 cream, $2 bottle of like aloe vera gel. And I mean, little goes a long way. I didn't even need a whole lot. and it actually kind of smells good. So this, it was definitely a lifesaver, and I kind of wanted to talk about this and actually share this part of the experience with you, because definitely like this. So beyond just really the, you know, traumatic part of what happened and getting my skin back on track, what I do for just every day and maintaining it, because right now I'm having really good skin days, very few breakouts. Every now and again I will. I notice if I don't take the hair affinity for like a couple of days, like when I was traveling and I would forget to take them, and then I would go back to taking them like consistently, I would kind of see a pattern of acne popping up, but not to the extent of before, like maybe one. And if I catch it early enough, I can maintain it. A lot of times if I feel any tenderness in a particular spot, I'm pulling out the Ziana and I'm pulling out the Aczone and I'm putting it on there. One other product that I use to maintain it is the Clinique acne solutions. I've had this since March. This little thing since March. A little goes a long way. Spot treatment, especially if it's a non-cystic acne breakout. If it's just like a regular little pimple, you know, that pop up here and there, just put this on there. Bad boy cleans it up extremely fast. It's crazy. I literally got this at Sephora like when I was traveling, because I did have a breakout before I went to the dermatologist, and I was trying this. And this really works well. Now, my dermatologist is like, don't really use any other like acne stuff. But listen, this little stuff works. So I'm not going to give up this little salicylic acid product just yet, because it has salicylic acid in it. It's called a cleaning gel, and it's in their acne solution line. This little thing, which I think costs like, I don't know, like $10 or something like that, was at Sephora, but a little goes a long way. So it actually lasted a very long time. I mean, you know, for $10 and it's, you know, 3-4 months later, it's not that bad. I can live with that. So lastly, what do I use to clean my face? I use Purity. If you've seen my channel, if you've been around for a while, you've seen this before. This is actually the second bottle I've gone through, or I've had. I'm a little less than halfway done with it. And I started using this particular bottle probably around February. And one bottle like this lasts me all year. So it's a pretty pricey product, because it's right at maybe almost $100. But it's all year long. You know, and I actually pump some of this into my travel thing. So I keep a little travel one in my bag. So some of this has gone into other things, not just when I wash my face in the morning and the evening. This stuff, you know, some people don't like it. It works for me. Again, it has to be what works for you. This works for me. It's gentle. I can rub my eyes. I wear contacts, which makes it, you know, my eyes very sensitive. So I don't like anything that has anything harsh, like anything that could really burn them. And, it, you know, you're not going to get a big lather out of this. It's just really creamy, and it's, like it said, it's Purity. It's kind of really no frills. It's just a cleanser, but it really gets everything off, including waterproof mascara and all that kind of stuff. So this works for me. I like it. I will keep it around. What I did add to the collection is Cetaphil, just because I've heard a lot of people talk about it. So I definitely wanted to try this one. This one, more or less, I keep in the shower. This one, at the end of the day, if I feel like it's just like I've had a really greasy day and I've had a lot of product on my face, after I use the Purity, I might go back in with this just to give it one good, you know, deep clean. I'll use this. And lastly, my Clarisonic Plus. I've had this for a couple of years. I keep this in the shower. Usually do this at the end of the day. I've had a lot of success with this, just really giving me a deep clean and exfoliating my skin without having to use a scrub or anything like that. Even though I do like a scrub every now and then, it's nothing wrong with that to get a good deep scrub in there and exfoliate the skin, but this does it really well. And so I can use this every day and not be irritated or feel like I'm really kind of scratching at my skin, and it just really gets in there and gets stuff that you didn't realize was still on your skin done. Because I'll wash my face with my hands and then go back with this and still find that makeup is coming off, or, you know, like that. So, yeah, keep this one around. It's a good product. I have the Clarisonic Plus. I don't know if there's a huge difference between like the Clarisonic Mia and all that, but I've had this since like the Clarisonic kind of hit the scene. It was really, really popular maybe 3 years ago. So, but now there's so many affordable options for the skin brush. I mean, Mary Kay has one. There's kind of like drugstore brand ones. So there are plenty of options if you just kind of want one of these scrubbers. And then the only thing you have to do is buy the, you know, the new head for it. So, that was my story. I just kind of wanted to give you an update on my skin. If you have any questions, just let me know. If there's anything in particular that you want to delve into a little bit more, again, let me know that as well. And yeah, I'm an open book, so I'll, you know, let's talk, let's chat, all that good stuff. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video.